Hello everyone. Tonight we step into one of the most famous and enduring maritime mysteries in history. A case that has puzzled sailors, investigators, and storytellers for over a century and a half. It is the chilling tale of the Mary Celeste, the ghost ship of the Atlantic. In December of 1872, the Mary Celeste was discovered adrift in the open ocean. Her sails partially set, her cargo untouched, her supplies in good order, but her crew had vanished without a trace. No signs of struggle, no evidence of foul play, just a silent vessel drifting aimlessly through the waves. To this day, the fate of the Mary Celeste's crew remains one of the greatest mysteries at sea. So, tonight, we will unravel the story of the Mary Celeste, walk through the events leading to her discovery, examine the strange evidence, and explore the theories that might explain what really happened on that fateful voyage. The story begins with the Mary Celeste herself, a merchant brigantine built in Nova Scotia in 1861. She was a sturdy, reliable ship, but also one that seemed plagued by misfortune. Early in her career, she changed owners multiple times, and she experienced a number of accidents, earning a reputation among sailors as unlucky. In November 1872, the Mary Celeste set sail from New York Harbor, bound for Genoa, Italy, carrying a cargo of 1,700 barrels of industrial alcohol. On board were Captain Benjamin Briggs, a respected seaman, his wife Sarah, their 2-year-old daughter Sophia, and a crew of 7 experienced sailors. In all, there were 10 souls on board. For nearly a month, the Mary Celeste sailed across the Atlantic. By all accounts, conditions were normal. The captain was known to keep a strict but fair discipline, and the ship was well provisioned with food and water. But on December 5th, 1872, another ship, the Dei Gratia, spotted the Mary Celeste drifting about 400 miles east of the Azores Islands. The sight of the vessel was strange. She was sailing unsteadily, her sails in poor condition, and no crew visible on deck. Concerned, the crew of the Dei Gratia boarded the Mary Celeste. What they found shocked them. The ship was completely abandoned. There were no signs of a struggle or violence. The cargo of alcohol barrels was intact. The supplies of food and water were plentiful. The crew's personal belongings, including the captain's potions, were left behind. The ship's logbook contained entries up until November 25th, giving no hint of trouble. Yet the lifeboat was missing, and so were all 10 people who had set sail from New York. The Mary Celeste had become a ghost ship. The mystery deepens when we look closer at the evidence. There was water in the ship's hold, but not enough to sink her. Her pumps were dismantled, suggesting the crew might have thought she was taking on too much water. A few hatches were open, and some rigging was damaged, perhaps from rough weather. But the ship was seaworthy, and experts later agreed there was no reason the crew should have abandoned her. This has led to endless speculation about what happened in those final days. One theory is that the crew panicked, believing the ship was about to explode. The cargo of alcohol was highly flammable, and some of the barrels were found to be leaking. If fumes filled the ship, Captain Briggs might have feared an explosion. Perhaps he ordered everyone into the lifeboat temporarily, planning to return once the danger passed. But if the rope connecting the lifeboat to the ship broke, they would have been left stranded at sea, helpless as the Mary Celeste drifted away. Another theory is piracy. In the 19th century, piracy was still a threat in some regions. Could pirates have boarded the Mary Celeste, killed or kidnapped the crew, and left the ship floating? This theory seems less likely, as nothing valuable was stolen. The cargo, supplies, and even the crew's personal belongings remained untouched. Pirates would have had little reason to leave the ship in such good order. Some have suggested mutiny, but Captain Briggs was highly respected, and there's no evidence that his crew had motive to turn against him. Others suggest a seaquake or sudden waterspout could have terrified the crew into abandoning ship. A powerful waterspout could explain the damage to the rigging and the water found in the hold. But again, abandoning a perfectly functional vessel seems like a rash decision for experienced sailors. Then there are the more bizarre theories. Some point to supernatural causes, suggesting the ship was cursed, or that some paranormal force claimed the crew. The Mary Celeste's unlucky reputation feeds into this line of thought. Others, more fancifully, link the disappearance to sea monsters or even alien abduction. Explanations that highlight just how strange and unexplainable the case feels. The legal aftermath of the discovery was also curious. The crew of the Dei Gratia brought the Mary Celeste to Gibraltar, where a court had to determine if they were entitled to salvage rights. The court investigated the mystery thoroughly, but they found no evidence of wrongdoing. The salvage award was unusually low, however, leading some to suspect the authorities believed the De Gracias crew might have known more than they claimed. Yet no proof ever emerged. Over the years, the legend of the Mary Celeste has only grown. Novels, films, and documentaries have told and retold the story, sometimes adding fictional details. Arthur Conan Doyle, the creator of Sherlock Holmes, even wrote a short story inspired by the case, which sensationalized it further. The ship itself continued to sail under new owners for years, though her reputation as cursed remained. Eventually, she was deliberately wrecked in 1885 in an insurance fraud scheme, bringing an ignoble end to a ship forever tied to mystery. What makes the Mary Celeste so fascinating is not just the unanswered question of what happened, but the eerie scene her discoverers found. A ship, fully seaworthy, cargo untouched, meals uneaten, but utterly silent. It captures our imagination because it feels like a riddle without a solution, a reminder that the sea keeps its secrets well. Unlike other ghost ship dailies, this one is thoroughly documented, and yet it remains unexplained. In the end, the fate of the Mary Celeste's crew may never be known. Perhaps they died in a lifeboat, lost forever to the endless Atlantic. Perhaps they fell victim to a chain of unlikely accidents. Or perhaps something stranger happened, something beyond our understanding. Whatever the truth, the Mary Celeste sails on in history as one of the greatest maritime mysteries of all time. So as we leave this story behind tonight, think of that lonely ship drifting in the wide Atlantic, her sails torn, her wheel unmanned, her crew vanished into the unknown. The Mary Celeste remains a ghost ship not only of the sea, but of our imagination, haunting us with the silence of the unanswered.